Hey, Alvernia community, good morning. Our October Alumni Spotlight is alumna Dr. Tiffany Yoch, and we will be discussing her Alvernia path, where it has brought her today, and all the ways that she continues to stay involved with Alvernia. So welcome, Tiffany. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here and talk about my experiences at Alvernia.
We're so excited to hear your story. So we're just going to start if you could tell us all of the degrees that you have.
Yes, I have a bachelor's. I'm going to read them. I have a bachelor's of science from Alvernia University. I have a master of science in occupational therapy and then I have a doctorate I have a post-professional doctorate in occupational therapy from Gannon University.
Where's that?
Gannon University is actually in Erie, Pennsylvania. I actually did the program online for 2 years and then went to Erie for graduation. So it was pretty much fully online, but got to go to campus for graduation.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So I know for being an OT, you really have to get your master's. So what made you want to go for your doctorate? What was that deciding factor for you?
Yeah. So I always wanted to, and I wanted to explore that after I was a clinician. And I also started guest speaking at Alvernia, and I really wanted to start teaching occupational therapy at the college level. So occupational therapy is currently having doctorate level programs. So I wanted to start that journey as well. And I chose to pursue that to teach, and then also just to be a clinical leader in my profession.
Well, that's great. So then can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing now in occupational therapy?
Yeah, so I am a lead clinician at my facility. It's an assisted living facility within the Reading area. I work for Fox Rehabilitation, and what we do, we're a outpatient based clinic, but we go and provide home services. So we come to the patients, or we also provide services in our assisted livings that we are within the whole country.
Oh, wow. So then the target demographic is mostly older adults that you cater to.
Correct. The geriatric population.
Okay. So why do you do what you do? What do you love most about occupational therapy?
Yeah, I mean, from the minute I fell in love with occupational therapy, I like the progress, the growth that anyone, the child, the individual, our geriatric patients, the progress where they, from their baseline to where they are meeting their goals. It's pretty magical. I always call it the therapist moment because it might be just a simple task, but we've been working repetitively to get to that goal. And when that happens, it's a magical moment. So for me, I love the progress. I love making a difference in people's lives. And that's why I love OT.
Yeah, and it must be pretty great too, because I'm sure you hear, because you're forming relationships with these people. So I'm sure you hear a lot of great stories too about, their families and their lives. And so I'm sure that's meaningful as well.
It is. It's also just being able to connect, talk about past experiences, share a little bit of myself with them. But it's just a beautiful profession that you get to help people and work with people and make a difference in their lives.
Great. That's great to hear. So as rewarding as it can be, obviously, I know there's moments that are difficult too. So what has been the most difficult part of your career thus far?
I would say, I mean, I think this is for everyone's profession, but it's that time management, because I am working full time, being able to balance that work-life balance. Um, I am uh, I am able to have that balance, with my job, because I get to make my own schedule. But again, you make your own schedule, so you have to be in control of that and be responsible for that. So it's really important that you are organized and you're on top of it all, because if not, it will be really hard to manage.
Yeah, I could see that, especially having to juggle multiple patients at once.
Yeah, I mean, and also like my professional life, but also like my personal life as well. So I think it's healthy to have a background knowledge of, hey, I need to balance my life out, and being able to provide good services to our patients.
Yeah, true. So in talking about your Alvernia, your time here at Alvernia, just in your career, how have you seen your Alvernia degree impact you?
My Alvernia degree has opened doors to my career. I just have so much experience, from my field work, to from classes, from volunteering, that has led me to various opportunities, such as my job, and then also my post-professional doctorate. When I went to go, to apply, you had to talk about, your experiences, field work, volunteering, what you're doing as a clinician now, and your past experiences. So, I mean, it has built that foundation for my future.
Wow, I'm so glad to hear that. That's really great how it's taken you so far in your career and brought you to where you are and that you're able to see those things.
Mhm.
So I know you're super involved now as an alum. So can you tell us how you're still involved with Alvernia and why it's important to you?
Yeah, so I love Alvernia. It's like my second home. I'm from New Jersey, so Alvernia, when I was not there, during my college days, Alvernia was my second home, and it gave me the opportunity to be successful right now, in my career, and so I value that a lot, and I want to give back, and I do live locally, so it is helpful to be more involved as I can. But I'm involved in alumni council, in all the councils. So I think it's just really important to be involved, and donate to the school, because someone did it for me as well. For scholarships, and there was an alumni helping at an event when I was at, as a student. So I think it's really important to still be involved and help the Alvernia community as best as I can, and kind of tell my story, because looking back on it, it did open the doors for new opportunities for me.
Yeah, and of course, your story, you just never know sharing it with other students how it's going to impact them or change their path or help them along the way too.
Hmm.
And
Absolutely.
and that's the goal too, connecting our alums back to our students so they can understand all the experiences and things to look forward to when they graduate and in their career now in Alvernia.
Yep. Absolutely.
So also you are an adjunct here at Alvernia too. Can you tell
Yes.
us a little about that?
Yes. I am a search instructor. So I am helping, well, pretty much it's a class on helping students, um, get adjusted to the college life, and then also to Alvernia. And I am absolutely in love with teaching. I love every moment of it. I love, talking as an alum and from my experiences, and kind of giving that back to the new freshmen.
And truly, what better person than you to teach our freshmen, because you were an alum, you went through it all, you have your doctorate degree, you know, you're proof that you can do anything and everything, and you're involved. So it's just perfect.
You can do it. Just gotta work at it.
Yes, exactly. Hard work pays off. So thinking back to your time as a student, do you have a favorite memory of your time on campus?
I mean, there was just different experiences. I was a transfer, so I wasn't that traditional, starting out as a freshman at Alvernia. So I came in my junior year. But I would say the connections that I've made here at Alvernia really have developed into strong connections, and these people are part of my life now, and continue to be. But I think the biggest day for me was 2 days was when we passed our thesis. That was a huge day, super nervous. But it was like that moment, like you did it. And then graduation day as well. Just to get to that point was huge, because I was in the 5-year program. So I didn't graduate at that 4-year. I graduated in the 5th year, and that was a long time to wait for graduation. So it just was a relief that I did it, an achievement, and like, you can do this. You can really do this if you put your hard work into it.
Yeah, and it's crazy how, I mean, you're saying like 5 years, and a lot of students go through 4 years and then that extra year and you have your master's. So it's like you're not just graduating and you get your bachelor's, like you have your master's too, like 2 degrees.
Yeah, absolutely. So all those summers, because I transferred, there was times where I took classes in the summer, and it was not one class, it was like 3 classes. And so that, and plus working. And so I think it's really important to just, if you have that goal, keep trying to reach that goal, keep climbing, because if you don't climb, where are you going to go? Right. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's great advice. It really is. It's true. So in getting to know you a little bit, can you tell us either an interesting fact about yourself, or if you have a favorite hobby?
My favorite hobby, yeah. So I love to exercise. I love to run. I actually was a lacrosse coach as well, back when I was working in the schools as an occupational therapist. So I love exercising. I have a son, and I just take him in the jogger stroller and I run with him everywhere. But if I were to pick a place, I would definitely be at the shore running on the boardwalk. So that's where you'll find me.
Oh, that's a good choice. I could totally get with that. Definitely.
Yeah.
So as a last question to kind of wrap this up, even though I feel like you've answered this question in multiple ways already, what is one piece of advice that you wish you had known when you were a current student that you could let a student know now, whether it relates to occupational therapy or just the Alvernia journey in general?
Yeah. I think I have 2. So the first one is just keep learning. I learned that at Alvernia, it's a chapter in your life. After you leave Alvernia, it's a new chapter. A couple of years later, there will be a new chapter. So always keep learning, because life is continuing to go and go and go. So you need to keep learning and growing, and dive yourself into opportunities. And you never know, that opportunity might take you to another super awesome opportunity. I mean, it's just mind blowing to see where I started to from where I am now. And I've hit my goals. So, I mean, because I just kept going and learning and wanting to learn. from those experiences. And then the second thing is read. And I know that's silly. Because when people would tell me that, I'd be like, okay, but I have become a really good reader, analyzer, of research studies because I just kept reading. And I'm not gonna lie, like I struggled at schools at times, right? So we all have. I mean, we're students, we're learning. But because I kept reading and looking at various articles, I have become a really good reader and understand things better and analyze things better. And so I just really encourage people to keep reading. I really do. And I see it actually within, as a mom, working with my son and working with his language development as he becomes a little guy. So I think it's really important.
That's really great advice, and advice we have not heard from anyone yet. So that's fantastic. I totally agree. Learning takes you to so many other levels, and there's so many different opinions and views out there that you can't just listen to one. You have to hear all of them, make your own opinion, and it helps you, like you said, to understand things so much better, especially in your profession.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Yoch. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy I'm here.
Good. Well, thank you. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.